Hi, first grade families and friends. This is Miss Burns again, and we are here for week 3, day 5 of our math teleschool learning. This week we've been learning all about adding two-digit numbers using both objects and pictures, and we started making it a little more challenging by using regrouping. Today, instead of using objects, we're going to be using pictures. So we're still in 1 NBT4. That's our standard that's talking to us about adding two-digit numbers. Today we're adding two-digit numbers with regrouping, and we're going to do that by drawing pictures to solve two-digit addition problems with regrouping. Now, just so we're all on the same page here, and this is a little tricky, so let's make sure that we understand it. When we regroup, all we're doing is seeing if we have enough ones in our ones place to make a 10. If we have 10 ones, we can trade them for a 10. Okay? Let's take a look at what this math looks like, and then we'll jump into some problems. So, yesterday, we started doing two-digit plus two-digit problems, and we used objects like base 10 blocks and ones to help us out. We said that we are going to set up our problem vertically. That's going to help us show what we know about place value, and that it's going to be very important that once we regroup by making our 10 and we make our trade, that we get rid of or cross out the objects that were a part of that group of 10. That's going to be really important today as we are drawing pictures. As soon as we regroup, we're going to trade and cross out. That way we don't accidentally count something twice. I think we're ready. We can get right on into the first problem. Feel free to just watch me do this problem, friends, and then you can jump in on the next problem. Okay, our first problem is 45 plus 37. Each of these are two-digit numbers. We have a numeral in the tens place and the ones place, a numeral in the tens place and the ones place. As you know, I'm sure you hear me saying it already, I'm going to make this go vertically. If I rewrite this problem so that we are doing it vertically, my brain is automatically going to say, put in your place value, Matt. Oh my gosh, you're right. Drop in that place value, Matt, or chart. Drop in your T for tens. Drop in your O for ones. And that's going to help you use what you know about place value or tens and ones to solve. Now, yesterday we used objects to solve. Objects are great because you can move them around and it helps you understand what's happening. I happen to personally love drawing pictures to solve these problems because whenever you're taking a test, you're either going to have a marker or a pencil or something to write with, and you're always going to have a board or a scrap piece of paper, something to write on. So I think that drawing pictures is a great way to solve problems because all the tools that you need are always with you. Okay, just like we did yesterday with our objects, the first thing you're going to do is look at your first addend, and you want to represent it. Now, yesterday I would have represented 45 with 4 tens and 5 ones. But today we're using pictures. So instead of using my base 10 blocks and my ones, remember we're going to use our pictures and draw ourselves a little key so that we know what each picture means. A stack or a rod is going to represent or mean that I have a 10. A square is going to represent or show that I have a 1. I'm going to keep this key here for myself just in case I forget what I need to draw. So instead of laying out 4 base 10 blocks, I'm going to draw 4 base 10 blocks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of laying out 5 ones, I'm just going to draw 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making sure I do that inside my invisible 10 frame. I've represented or showed my first addend. Now I'm going to show my next addend, 37. Well, 37 is made up of 3 tens, 1, 2, 3, and 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, friends, my next job is to see, can I add my ones to regroup and trade? Let's see if we can. Is there any way that I could rearrange or regroup these ones to make a 10? Actually, there's different ways I could do it. Some of you might be saying, Miss Burns, it almost looks as if you have a 10 frame right there. You have 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. That's 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're right. That is a group of 10. You can regroup that way and then trade and drop in your 10. That's one way to do it. Here's another way. Some of you might like to start with the 7, and you might be able to see that, hey, if I take 3, 1, 2, 3 of the ones from my 5, that gives me a 10 too. And I can then trade that for another 10. Whichever way works for you, friends, you can use it, as long as you can explain what you did. Notice that when I moved these 1, 2, 3 ones from my 5 down here with my 7 to make a 10, I then crossed them out. I want to get them out of the way because I'm now using them as a part of my 10. I don't want to count them twice. If you're not sure if this is 10, I'll prove it to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've made a 10. Now I'm ready to make my trade. This group of 10 is now going to be traded for a 10. But don't forget to cross it out. We don't want to count things twice. Now I'm going to go back and count what I have left, remembering that I'm no longer paying attention to the digits. Instead, I need to look at my picture. So I have 1, 2 ones left. These are gone. They're a part of my 10. This 10 is gone. I traded it for a 10. I have 1, 2 ones left. And over here, I'm not just going to pay attention to this 4 and this 3, because we've actually changed our problem around a little bit. We've rearranged and given ourselves another 10. So let me count my picture. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 10s. So 45 plus 37 is 82, which is the same as 8 10s plus 2 1s. Now if I count up all of the pictures I have that are not crossed out, I bet you I'll have 82. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82. Awesome job, friends. All right, I'm going to clear my board, and you get ready to solve this next one with me. If you've got a piece of paper with you, that is perfect. I'm going to keep my key up here just in case I forget what I'm drawing to represent my 10s and my 1s. And here's our next problem. We want to know what's 22 plus 29. Well, the first thing we're going to do is write this vertically. Here I go. I've got 22, that's my first addend, plus 29, that's my second addend. And because I wrote it vertically, your brain is screaming to you right now. What's it saying, friends? Put in the place value chart. Oh my gosh. Your brain's saying exactly what my brain is saying. Drop in or put in that place value chart or mat. T for 10s, O for 1s. Perfect. Our next step is to represent our addends, 22 and 29, using pictures. If you forget what our pictures are supposed to look like, remember you have a stack or a rod for a 10 and a square for a 1. Well, if I am starting with 22, I know that 22 is made out of 2 10s. 2 10s. And it's also made out of 2 1s. So we're going to go ahead and draw those 2 1s as if they're inside of that invisible 10 frame. Perfect. If you need to check yourself, go ahead and count your representation. See if it equals 22. 10, 20, 21, 22. Now, if you're already a master, you can tell me why this isn't 11. Because I'm telling you, one of your little brothers or sisters is going to come over and say, that's 11, that's 11. And you're going to have to be able to explain to them why. Go ahead, explain it to them. You're right. These aren't 1s, these aren't the number 1. Each of these is a picture that represents a group of 10. 10, 20. We have 2 10s here. Perfect. Let's move on to our second addend. Now we have 29. Again, we have 2 10s, 1 10, 2 10s. Now we have 9 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Your brain should be yelling at you. You can make a 10. Regroup and make a 10. Man, you guys are so good. I know that when you looked here at these 9 1s, you saw this empty space right here screaming for one of the ones to make a 10. So there are different ways you can do this. If you want to go ahead and move this guy down, you certainly may, but don't forget to cross him out so we don't count him twice. We've moved him so that we can regroup and make a 10. Go ahead and regroup and then trade those 10 1s for 1 10. Let's go back to our chart. I wonder if you can tell me my next step, because if I forget to do this step, I might count things more than once. What's that next step, friends? You're right. You have to cross it out. As soon as you regroup and trade, we need to get rid of those 10 1s. There we go. Goodbye. Thanks for stopping. Now we can move down our 1s place. Now we can move down our 10s place and add, making sure we're only adding the pictures we have left. Do I have 2 1s left here from 22? No, I do not. I only have 1 1 left. Our other 1 came down to help us make 10. Do I have any of these 1s left? No, I do not. I traded them for this 10 over here. So the only guy that's left is this 1 right here. I have 1 1 left. Let's move over to our 10s place. Am I going to add my 2 and my 2, or do I really care about this picture that's representing or showing what's going on? You're right. I really care about this picture. That's what's showing me what's going on. I'm going to count those 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 10s here. So 22 plus 29 is 51, or 5 10s plus 1 1. I can prove to you that it's 51 by counting everything that's left and not circled. And not crossed out. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51. Awesome. Now friends, you're going to click below the video and you're going to go into your assignment, and it's going to ask you to add 2-digit numbers plus 2-digit numbers. There will be pictures there to help you, but you might want to draw your own picture so that way you are in control of the way that you're regrouping and trading and crossing out so we don't count twice. If you need some additional support, that iReady video is also there for you if you want to look at that. Again, if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or your first grade teacher. Thanks so much, and we will see you in our next video. Bye, friends.